Okay, guys, we are looking at 5.md.5 here. And what we're working on when we're looking at this is using that equation of the length times the width times the height. So it will get a little bit more complicated. We're going to start off a little bit easy. When we come to small group, you're going to be working with multi-step problems with volume, but it is an easier standard to learn. So we're going to start with number 1. Eduardo buys a box in the shape of a rectangular prism. The dimensions of the box are shown. Find the volume in cubic feet of the box. So once again, we're going to take 2 times 2 times 4, and 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 4 equals 16. Now, what I forgot to show you in the last unit, in the MD3 and 4, was how you write your answer with the unit. So we are working in feet here, so this is going to be 16 feet, and it says cubic, right? Because it's a 3-dimensional shape. So there's going to be like a little 3 like we did when we talked about our exponents. Guys, do not get this confused with exponents. This does not mean that there's exponents tied to here. It's not times 10 of anything, so therefore it cannot be that. Okay, so but that 3 represents that it's a cube. Okay. Eduardo buys a box in the shape of a rectangular prism. The dimensions of the box are shown below. Dimensions are find the volume in cubic feet of the box. So once again, you're going to take 3 times 3 times 4, and you're going to get an answer. And if you'll take a moment and you'll multiply 3 times 3 times 4, type it in, make sure you have feet, and you don't need to worry about feet cubed on typing it in. You can just write feet. Okay. Number 3, Joshua has 5 boxes. The dimensions of the boxes are listed below. Select the boxes with the volume of 144 cubic feet. So once again, you're just going to take 6 times 2 times 12, see if it gets 144. Take 2 times 2 times 8 and see if you get 144, and so on. So you're going to take a moment and you're going to solve this, and then on Edpuzzle, you're going to check off the ones that equal 144. Okay. The volume of the rectangular prism is 30 feet cubed. The rectangular prism has a height of 2 feet. Draw the possible base for the box. Okay. So what it wants you to do is a number times 2 equals 30. Okay. Because the height is already given to us. It's 2. Well, when you think about it, if I did 2 times 2, I would get 4. 4 times what number equals 30? Well, that wouldn't work. Okay? But I could possibly do a 3, right? 2 times 3 equals 6. And then my other number could be a 5. And I could do 6 times 5 equals 30. So it could be a 3. It could be a 5. It could be a 1. Because you could do, if you turn this to a 1, it could be, that's 2. 2 times what number equals 30? 15. You have to plug and chug, basically. But what I'm going to draw is I'm going to draw the 5 times the 3. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to draw it 3 high, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to draw it 2 wide, 1, 2. Now, what I didn't get to show you so far is how to draw a cube. And this was my class's favorite thing last year. I learned this skill when I was in high school or middle school doing CAD classes. And the nice thing about how to draw it is that you are drawing a box, and you have what's called a vanishing point, which is out here in the horizon. You can draw a little dot till you get used to this. This point right here has to go to this horizon. This point right here has to go to this horizon. And this point right here has to go to that spot. And then what you do is draw your parallel lines. This one is down like this, so this line goes right here. This line is parallel, so I had to draw it straight across. That's how you draw a cube. You just have a vanishing point. This stays parallel to this line stays parallel to that line. So it doesn't have to be perfect when you're first practicing, but I know when I was first learning these, I loved to draw these things. So this would be an option. Okay. Question number 5. Emery has a box of the shape of a rectangular prism. The height of the box is 7 inches. The base of the box has an area of 30. What is the volume of the box? The big key thing here is the base of the box has a volume of 30. Well, you're going to say, Miss Hine, length times width times height is my problem. Length times width times height. Well, the key word right here is area. What is area? Area is length times width, which is right here. So length times width is already done for you. So it's 30, right? And then I have to times it by 7. So the nice part of this one is they've already done 2 of the numbers for you. So you have to be careful when you are reading these problems because they might throw in questions like that. So if you'll take a moment and solve this problem, make sure you have it in inches cubed. So your answer is here, and you have it in inches cubed. Okay? Here's where we get a little bit more complicated and we look at more than one box. You're going to see some of these problems like this. You're going to start seeing a little bit more difficult because they want you to be really skilled in this area. So we're going to work with one figure at a time. And when we work with one figure at a time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this box right here. So I'm going to use the same equations I have, and it's going to be length times width times height. So my length is my 6, my height is my 8, and my width is my 2. So if I take a moment and I get 6 times 8 equals 48, and I times it by 2, I'm going to get 96. But that's not my answer because I still have this box over here that I haven't done. And so now I need to take this box, which is 2 times 4 times 4. And 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 4 equals 32. And I'm going to add the 2 of those together. So you're going to take 96 plus 32, add it together, and type in your answer. Okay, this one right here is 3. And you need to be very careful because right now, if you go to do this one, you're going to be like, that's not 12 inches because the whole thing is 12. You got to be careful when you pay attention to the numbers. They're going to throw them in there. They're going to throw you off. They want to do it to see if you're paying attention. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to give you your equations and I want you to solve for this. So we're going to solve for this first box right here. And your length, which is parallel to this, is 24 times your height, which is, it's not 12, it is 6, and your width is 6. So take a moment and solve that very first box. And then we're going to work with the little box right here. And your little box has a length of 12, has a height of 6, has another height of 6. So you're going to multiply those. You're going to get a number here. You're going to get a number here. And you're still left with one more box, which is this big bottom one. And you have to make sure that you understand that it's going behind this yellow and blue box. It's not just this little piece right here, but it actually is a bigger box underneath it. So what you're going to have to look at is you already have dimensions. We don't need all these extra dimensions up here. You have its length, which is 24. You have its width, which is 18, and you have its height, which is 6. So what you're going to do right there is you're going to get an answer here. You're going to get another answer here. You're going to get another answer here, and then you're going to add them all up. Make sure you have inches cubed typed in.